Now I have done my research, as you would expect. I went out and I went to find out what Android were doing. I went to some schools around the Birmingham area who have got Samsung Academies, they call them. So I went to see what they were doing. And I'm going to go through in a bit more detail about the sort of differences between the two and where they are in terms of education and the benefits they can bring. And that may help you when you are discussing things with your people, delegates back in your own host countries or in your own schools or academies in the UK. We're going to look at the basic functions, and then we're going to look at some apps for teaching and learning, apps for presentations, and hopefully that will lead us through until the point where we're going off this afternoon to see Prince Albert Primary School. Okay, so that's great. So you've got that? Yeah, and if you press the L, it will give you the label, so it will turn the brain and tell you what they're passing out. Yeah, and if you press T, there you go. Gives you a bit of information about the brain. I can do an awful lot with this. I can say to kids, right, do you understand what it is? Right, that is fine. I want you to go back into that, select that word, and write me a post-it note. So there's a post-it note, and the kids write down what they think that word actually means. So they type it in, and then that note is saved there. The good thing about it is, once you have created a note, all your notes are held at the end of the book so you can print them out. So all the kids' notes on key words and key terms can be printed out at the end. So if you go back into your book and go back to the start, you'll be able to create something very simple. You know, and often our English teachers have started to try and use this more, download the piece of text for our subject, and then highlighting keywords, get kids to make little notes at certain points. And then what it gives them the option to do then is to share these notes out, print them out, and do whatever they want with them really, to help with their revision.
I think you should start a new career.
You've been here 7 years longer.
Carlos.
Don't you know you're supposed to be the man? Not
I know why.
comparison to everything I am. Always wanna talk through.
It's not a lie.
I don't care. I always got to come for you when I'm there. But that's what I needed you to do. Stroke my head.
Oh, that's nice,
I pulled
This is outside your window?
Yeah.
Yes.
Massive tree.
Massive tree.
Feel like a lady.
Application, applying it to a context, analysis of one-sided argument, synthesis, looking to try and balance out the argument, and then final assessment. So it is looking at the skills that students go through and the skills we're trying to develop with students. Yeah, it's called Bloom's taxonomy. It's used quite widely across education. What it will do is it will take that, now it'll open up the apps that link into PowerPoint. Now I want to use Keynote, which is Apple's version of PowerPoint. So I'm going to click on Keynote. What it'll do is take me straight away to that app. Now bearing in mind the mind map I've just created, what it will do is take me off into all my PowerPoints, all my Keynotes, they call it for Apple, and it will start to create, there we go, importing my mind map. And as it starts to build up, what it will do, and hopefully do well, is each arm of my mind map becomes a slide in my presentation. And it takes all the information and puts it into the presentation.
One by one.
One by one. So what happens now is the kids, if I show you now, here it is. If I click on that now, what I have is a presentation where first slide is the mind map, second one, if you look, every single arm, so cousin, dad, teacher, is a section within my presentation, any information I've got in there, so under teacher, MLEARN project using handout technology. The student then can start to turn that mind map into a presentation to present to you based on their knowledge and understanding. And what I've done is, yeah, I've sent them out. Shall I show this one? We can show this one on the screen if you like. I can show you an example. So, this one. Mirroring on, yeah. Now, there's one.
I'm Danny, I'm from St George's Academy in Newtown. It's a primary school. I'm the year 6 teacher, so I'm teaching like 10 and 11 year olds.
I'm Constance, partner of Action Synergy, a teacher in a vocational school in Athens, and I teach administration, informatics and physics.
Yes.
My name's Rebecca. I'm the Key Stage 3 coordinator for English at Hamstead Hall Academy in Birmingham.
Hi, I'm Katie. I'm ICT coordinator at Mayfield School, which is a school for children with severe learning.
I'm Zina from U3 School, as a year 6 teacher at ICT.
My name is Rob. I'm working in a primary school in the Netherlands. I teach IT, I teach physical education, and I'm an IT coordinator for the school.
Hello, my name is Rob. I'm a Dutch as a class teacher in a Dutch primary school, besides that I'm a Dutch language teacher at the British International School.
Hi, my name is Paulina and I'm area coordinating at St John Wall, which is secondary school.
Okay, thank you.
I'm Helen and I'm an RS teacher and whole school literacy coordinator at St John Hall Secondary School.
Hi, my name is Mugur. I'm from Romania. I work in the field of e-learning and media application in Polytechnical University of Timișoara.
Supported by training needs analysis, where teachers have actually fed back their understanding of what training needs that they have. But the research will continue with yourselves, it will continue with the other teachers that you will be training, and then when the teachers go back into school and start using handhelds as part of the curriculum that you're responsible for. So on Thursday morning, Don will explain how that research will take place and how he hopes is going to collect the information from schools, from teachers and from the pupils over an academic year starting in October this year and completing in July next year, so that we actually for the first time have the evidence, one, of what the impact of properly training teachers to use the technologies in school. Two, we can show the relevance across mainstream curriculum subjects. And three, with the support from the schools themselves, we can actually show the value added to the pupils' own learning. And it will be virtually some of the first research ever undertaken at that level across the EU. So that's the research aims of